Everything changes when a demon slayer gets a second chance at life, with every memory intact. No training arcs, no learning curves, just pure, devastating experience from day one. Let's explore how Tanjiro Kamado's story would completely transform if he remembered everything. Hey everyone, today we're tackling one of the most fascinating what-ifs in the Demon Slayer universe. Imagine this. Tanjiro opens his eyes as a child again, but he carries every battle scar, every technique, every heartbreak from his previous life. The Hinokami Kagura flows through his memory like second nature. He knows Muzan's face. He remembers Nezuko's fate. But here's the real question. Would this second chance save everyone he lost? Or would knowing too much create entirely new problems? Let's break this down. First, we need to understand what Tanjiro actually brings to the table. By the end of the series, he's mastered sun breathing, fought upper moons, and temporarily became the strongest demon. That's not just skill, that's strategic knowledge that could prevent tragedies before they happen. The massacre on Mount Kumatori happens because Tanjiro's away selling charcoal. But a reborn Tanjiro? He knows the exact night. He could stay home, set traps, maybe even request help from nearby demon slayers. Some fans on forums argue he'd struggle to convince anyone without proof. But here's where it gets interesting. Tanjiro could demonstrate sun breathing immediately. A child performing techniques that supposedly died with the Kamado family? That would get attention fast. But preventing the massacre creates ripples. Nezuko never becomes a demon. That sounds like a win, right? Except, Nezuko's demon form was crucial to developing a cure for demonization. Without her, Tamayo's research takes a completely different path. Every person saved creates branching consequences we need to consider. Now let's talk about combat. The original Tanjiro spent 2 years training with Urokodaki, learning total concentration breathing from scratch. A reborn Tanjiro wouldn't need that. He'd master it in months, maybe weeks. He already knows the tricks, the breathing patterns, the mental discipline. But here's something the community debates heavily. Would the Demon Slayer cause even accept a prodigy this young? Tanjiro would be around 12 when he seeks them out, assuming he still does. He could theoretically pass final selection immediately, but that raises red flags. The Corps has seen talented children before, but someone with adult-level strategic thinking in a child's body? That's unprecedented. What's really fascinating is his knowledge of demon abilities. Tanjiro knows Rui's blood demon art, Enmu's dream manipulation, Akaza's compass, all of it. He could warn the Corps about specific demons, their locations, their weaknesses. The Mugen Train arc? Tanjiro could prevent Rengoku's death entirely. He knows Akaza's patterns, his fighting style, even his human past. According to discussions from manga readers, this is where the timeline gets wild. Rengoku surviving means the Hashira remain at full strength. That single change could determine whether they win or lose against Muzan. But we can't ignore the psychological weight here. Imagine being a child again, trapped in a body that can't execute what your mind remembers. Tanjiro would have memories of watching friends die, Rengoku's final words, the Swordsmith village attack, the Infinity Castle battle. He'd remember becoming a demon himself, temporarily losing his humanity. That's trauma most adults couldn't handle, let alone a kid. The original Tanjiro's greatest strength wasn't just his kindness, it was his ability to grow alongside his experiences. A reborn Tanjiro loses that innocence immediately. He'd be hypervigilant, constantly paranoid about changing too much, or not enough. There's also the relationship dynamics. How does he interact with Zenitsu and Inosuke when he already knows their entire character arcs? Does he befriend them the same way? Does he manipulate situations to help them grow faster? And what about Kanao? Their relationship developed naturally over time, but now he'd know she becomes crucial to defeating Muzan. Does that change how he sees her? Some fans theorize this could actually make Tanjiro colder, more calculating. When you know people's fates, they stop being unpredictable individuals and start becoming chess pieces in a larger game. Here's where everything gets complicated. Muzan Kibutsuji isn't just powerful, he's paranoid and intelligent. The moment timeline deviations occur, he'd notice. A child wielding sun breathing? That's exactly the kind of anomaly that would make Muzan mobilize every demon under his command. In the original timeline, Muzan spent centuries hiding, building power slowly. But if he perceives a genuine threat early, he might attack aggressively, before the Demon Slayer corpse is ready. Tanjiro's knowledge becomes a double-edged sword. He knows the blue spider lily doesn't exist in any meaningful quantity. That's information he could use to manipulate Muzan's obsession. But revealing that knowledge might expose his supernatural awareness. The community has discussed whether Tanjiro could just rush straight to Muzan and end it early. The problem is location. The Infinity Castle doesn't exist yet. Muzan moves constantly. Even knowing he disguises himself as a human in Tokyo doesn't help if Tanjiro's a 12-year-old from the mountains with no resources. Plus, there's the power gap. Reborn Tanjiro has the knowledge, but does his child body have the stamina to maintain mark activation? Can he access the transparent world without dying from the strain? Knowledge without physical capability might get him killed faster. So, what's the most likely outcome? If we're being realistic, a reborn Tanjiro probably creates a hybrid timeline. Some deaths get prevented, Rengoku, possibly some Hashira during the final battle. The war against demons ends faster because Tanjiro can pinpoint upper moon locations and their weaknesses. But other things stay the same. Nezuko might still need to become a demon temporarily for research purposes. Maybe Tanjiro allows it, but under controlled conditions with Tamayo from the start. The emotional core of his journey remains because his love for his family and friends is genuine, not manufactured by destiny. The beautiful irony is that Tanjiro's greatest strength, his empathy, might be what prevents him from gaming the system too hard. He wouldn't sacrifice innocent people for strategic gains. He wouldn't manipulate friends into dangerous situations just because he knows they survive in the original timeline. He'd try to save everyone, even at his own risk. That's fundamentally who Tanjiro is. Memories or not, Second Life or not. He'd still be the boy who carries kindness as his greatest weapon. The battles might end faster, but the heart of his story, protecting people, showing compassion even to demons, that remains unchanged. A reborn Tanjiro doesn't break Demon Slayer's story, it amplifies it. Every saved life carries weight. Every changed timeline creates new questions. And ultimately, it reminds us why we love this series. Because even with infinite knowledge, what matters most is the choice to keep fighting for others. What do you think? Would reborn Tanjiro save everyone, or would his knowledge create worse problems? Drop your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more anime deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.